be me. 27 years old, working as a graphic designer from home because remote work is the only thing keeping me sane. Live in this average apartment complex in the suburbs, nothing fancy but decent enough. Neighbors are mostly quiet, keep to themselves, typical apartment building energy. Been single for like 2 years because dating apps are a nightmare and meeting people organically is apparently impossible now. Buddy from college keeps telling me to get back on Tinder. Dude, you're gonna die alone with your houseplants. Don't have houseplants, but his point stands. Download Tinder one Saturday night after finishing a freelance project and having nothing better to do. Spend an hour swiping through profiles, mostly boring or obvious catfishes. Then this profile pops up and I actually stop scrolling. Girl named Riley, 25 years old, lives 0.2 miles away, which is suspiciously close. Her photos are adorable. She's wearing cat ears in one, holding a Gundam figure in another, dressed as some anime character I don't recognize in a third. Bio says anime enthusiast, cosplay hobbyist, Gundam collector, looking for someone who won't judge my hobbies. Please be kind. Social situations are hard for me. Something about the earnestness of that last line makes me swipe right immediately, match with her instantly, which is always a good sign. Send a message. Those are some impressive Gundams in your photo. Which one is your favorite? She responds within a minute. You know about Gundam. Most people just see robots. My favorite is the RX-78-2 because it's the original, but I also love Wing Zero Custom for the design. We text back and forth for like 3 hours about anime, video games, her cosplay projects. She types in this very literal, enthusiastic way that's kind of endearing. Tells me she's rewatching Cowboy Bebop for the 7th time and asks if I've seen it. Lie a little and say I've seen a few episodes when really I've seen the whole thing twice. She sends me a list of her top 10 anime with detailed explanations for each ranking. Most people would find this overwhelming, but I think it's sweet how passionate she is. Around 2 a.m. she says, I should sleep, I have work tomorrow. This was really fun talking to you. Agree to meet up for coffee that weekend. Lying in bed thinking about how she lives 12.2 miles away and wondering if we've ever seen each other around. Friday comes and I'm heading to my apartment after getting groceries, juggling bags and trying to unlock my door when I hear a voice. Oh, you're on Tinder. Turn around and there's a girl standing in the hallway holding a package, wearing an oversized Evangelion hoodie. It's Riley, and she lives literally 3 doors down from me, apartment 3F. My apartment is 3C, we're practically neighbors. Riley? Ask, probably looking shocked. She nods enthusiastically. I saw your photos and recognized the hallway behind you in one of them. Small world. Both laugh at the coincidence. Still want to get coffee tomorrow, or is that weird now that we know we're neighbors? She asks. Not weird, actually makes it easier, say, and she smiles. Saturday afternoon, we meet at this local coffee shop called Brewster's. Riley shows up wearing a Sailor Moon t-shirt and jeans, hair in a ponytail, no makeup. She's pretty in this natural, unassuming way that immediately puts me at ease. Order our drinks and sit by the window. Conversation flows easily. She's telling me about her job as a librarian at the community college. I like it because it's quiet and people don't expect me to small talk much. I'm not very good at small talk. She says this very matter-of-factly, no shame or apology. Small talk is overrated anyway, tell her. Tell me about your Gundam collection instead. Her entire face lights up. Next hour is her explaining the entire Gundam timeline, which models she owns, which ones she's building. Her dream collection. She pulls up photos on her phone showing shelves full of meticulously built models in her apartment. Most people think it's weird that I collect these, she says quietly. My ex-boyfriend said it was childish. Your ex-boyfriend sounds like he had terrible taste, say without thinking. She laughs, this genuine surprised laugh. You're really nice. I was nervous you'd think I was weird too. Everyone's weird about something. At least your thing is cool robots. Can see her relax after that, shoulders dropping, smile getting wider. Coffee date turns into walking around the neighborhood for 2 hours. She points out different things, tells me facts about birds we see, explains the plot of whatever manga she's reading. Talks in this stream of consciousness way where she'll jump from topic to topic, but it all somehow connects. When we get back to the apartment building, she turns to me. I had a really good time. Can we do this again? Definitely. I'm like 3 doors down. Pretty sure we can make that work. She giggles. Okay, good. I'll text you later. Watches her walk to her apartment, notices she has this little skip in her step. Over the next few weeks, we hang out constantly. She'll knock on my door randomly. Want to watch the new episode of this anime? Or I'll text her when I'm bored. Want to grab lunch? Realizes pretty quick that Riley is autistic. She mentions it casually one day. Sorry if I'm being too much. I know I info dump a lot. It's an autism thing. I'm working on it. Don't work on it. I like listening to you talk about stuff you care about. She looks at me like I've said something profound when really it's just basic human decency. Learn more about her life. She's an only child, lives with her mom in apartment 3F. Her dad left when she was 12. Couldn't handle having a daughter who was different. Her mom works 2 jobs, one as a nurse during the day and one doing night shifts at a hotel on weekends. Mom doesn't sleep much, Riley tells me. She's tired all the time, but she never complains. Can hear the worry in her voice when she talks about her mother. Meet her mom briefly one evening when she's leaving for her night shift. Woman named Diane, probably late 40s but looks older. Exhausted eyes but warm smile. You're the boy Riley keeps talking about, she says kindly. Thank you for being so patient with her. Want to say Riley doesn't require patience, she's just herself, but Diane is already rushing to her car. Month into whatever we are, Riley asks if I want to go to a comic convention with her. I'm cosplaying as Asuka from Evangelion and I need someone to take photos. Agree immediately, even though conventions aren't really my scene. Day of the con, she shows up at my door in full costume, wig, plug suit, everything. She looks amazing and I tell her so. You really think so? I worked on this for 3 months. Spend the whole day at the convention, taking photos of her, watching her light up when people recognize her character. She's more confident in costume, more comfortable. Like the character gives her armor. At one point, we're in the vendor hall looking at manga. Group of girls around Riley's age walk past and one of them stops. Oh my God, Riley? From Jefferson High? Riley tenses immediately, smile disappearing. The girls come over, 3 of them, all fake friendly voices. Wow, still doing the anime thing, huh? One says, voice dripping with condescension. And the costumes, that's so brave of you, another adds. Can see Riley shrinking, pulling into herself. Yeah, I like cosplay, she says quietly. We can tell, the first girl laughs. Some things never change. Remember when you wore those cat ears to school every day? They're all laughing and Riley is just standing there frozen. Step closer to Riley, put my arm around her shoulders. Riley's cosplay is incredible, actually. She spent 3 months hand-making this costume. The girls look at me like they just noticed I exist. And you are? One asks with attitude. Her boyfriend, say firmly even though we haven't really defined what we are. And I think you ladies should probably move along. They exchange looks, clearly not expecting resistance. Whatever, we were just being friendly, one mutters. No, you were being bullies, say loud enough for people around us to hear. There's a difference. They scoff and walk away, throwing looks back at us. Riley is looking up at me with tears in her eyes. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I did. They were being jerks. She hugs me right there in the middle of the convention hall. No one's ever stood up for me like that before, she says into my shoulder. Hug her back, can feel her shaking slightly. I'll always stand up for you, say and mean it. She pulls back, wipes her eyes. You called yourself my boyfriend. Oh, right, did do that. Is that okay? I mean, if you want to be official or whatever? She nods so enthusiastically her wig shifts slightly. Yes, I wanted to ask, but I didn't know how. Spend the rest of the convention holding hands, both of us grinning like idiots. Dating Riley is different from any relationship I've had before. She needs clear communication, doesn't pick up on hints or subtle cues. If I want to spend time with her, I have to actually ask, not just assume she'll know. She's very routine-oriented, has specific times she likes to eat, sleep, watch her shows. At first I think it might be restrictive, but actually it's kind of nice having structure. She's also incredibly honest, sometimes bluntly so. I don't like when you wear that shirt. It makes you look washed out, she'll say. Or, I'm not enjoying this restaurant, can we leave? No games, no trying to figure out what she's thinking. She just tells me. 3 months in, and I've completely fallen for her. The way she gets excited about new manga releases, how she'll randomly text me facts about things she's learning, her complete lack of pretense. She's exactly who she is all the time, and it's refreshing. Realize I haven't actually thought about our relationship as me taking her as just a friend, despite her autism. She's my girlfriend, fully and completely. Her being autistic is just part of who she is. Matters to her, shapes her experience, but doesn't define our entire relationship. One evening, I'm at her apartment watching anime together. Her mom comes home from her day shift looking absolutely exhausted. Hi kids, Diane says tiredly, heading to the kitchen. Riley is engrossed in the show, but I follow Diane, to ask if she needs help with anything. She's making coffee for her night shift, hands shaking slightly from fatigue. "Can I help with anything?" offer. She looks at me and suddenly tears start falling. "I'm sorry, I'm just so tired," she says, sitting down at the kitchen table. Sit down across from her, not sure what to do. "Riley's father left because he said he couldn't handle having a daughter who needed extra support," she says quietly. "Said it was too much work, too stressful, that she'd never be normal." She's crying harder now. "I've spent 13 years trying to be enough for both of us. Working constantly, making sure she has everything she needs, protecting her. You've done an amazing job, say honestly. Riley is incredible." Diane looks at me. She was bullied so much in school. Every day she'd come home crying because kids were cruel about her interests, her quirks, the way she talks. My heart breaks thinking about young Riley being tormented. I've watched boys come and go, most of them fetishizing her because they think autistic girls are easier or more naive, Diane continues. "But you're different. You look at her like she's precious." Don't know what to say to that. "I know we barely know each other, but I'm going to ask you something," she says, looking me directly in the eyes. Nod for her to continue. "Please don't hurt her. Please don't leave when things get hard or when you realize she needs more patience than other people. Please just stay." She's full on crying now, this exhausted, devastated mother who's been holding everything together alone for over a decade. "I'm not going anywhere," say firmly. "I love Riley, all of her." Diane covers her face with her hands, sobbing. Get up and awkwardly pat her shoulder, not sure what else to do. "I'm sorry, I'm being inappropriate," she says, trying to compose herself. "You're being a mom who loves her daughter. That's not inappropriate." She squeezes my hand. "Thank you for being kind to her. You don't know how much that means." Hear Riley call from the living room. "Did you guys get lost? The episode is almost over." Diane and I both laugh, wiping our eyes. "Coming," call back. That conversation with Diane sticks with me for days. Start noticing things more. How Riley will mention casually that she didn't have friends growing up. How she flinches slightly when groups of young women walk past us at the mall. How grateful she is for the smallest acts of kindness, like it's unexpected. Makes me angry that people treated her badly just for being herself. Also makes me more determined to be the person she deserves. 6 months into our relationship, and I've basically spent more time at her apartment than mine. Her Gundam collection is actually fascinating once she explains the engineering behind each model. We've watched every major anime together. She's teaching me to appreciate the medium. Meet her mom more frequently now. Diane has warmed up to me significantly. She'll make extra food when cooking dinner. "Stay and eat with us." These little family dinners become a regular thing. Sitting at their small kitchen table eating homemade meals, listening to Riley talk about her day. Diane will chime in with stories about difficult patrons at the library, patients at the hospital. Feels like family in a way my own family never quite did. One night Riley falls asleep during a movie marathon, head on my shoulder. Diane walks into the living room and sees us, smiles softly. "She really loves you," she whispers so as not to wake Riley. "I really love her too," whisper back. Diane sits in the armchair. "I need to tell you something and it might be too much too soon. Brace myself for bad news." "I'm sick," she says quietly. "Nothing terminal, but I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. The doctors say I need to reduce my stress and workload. My stomach drops. I can't quit either job, we need the money, but I'm worried about what happens when my body gives out completely. What can I do to help?" Ask immediately. She looks surprised. "You'd help?" "Of course. You're both important to me." She tears up again. This woman cries every time someone is kind to her and it breaks my heart. I might need to ask Riley to find her own place eventually. Not yet, but in the next year or two. She needs to learn independence. Can see the guilt and fear in her face saying this. "What if she moved in with me?" Hear myself say. Diane stares. "You'd want that?" "We're together. We spend all our time together anyway. My apartment is bigger, rent is similar. Makes sense. Didn't plan to suggest this, but now that I have it, feels right." Diane is fully crying now. "You'd take care of her?" "We'd take care of each other," correct gently. Riley stirs and wakes up, looks between us confused. "Why is everyone crying?" Diane and I both laugh. "Happy crying," her mom says. "Go back to sleep, honey." But Riley is awake now, sitting up. "What's going on?" Look at Diane, who nods for me to tell her. "How would you feel about moving in with me?" asked Riley. She blinks several times, processing. Like, living together? In your apartment? Yeah, if you want to. No pressure, just think about it. She's quiet for a long moment, stimming with her hands the way she does when thinking hard. Would I be able to bring my Gundam collection? Laugh. Obviously, they're non-negotiable. Then yes, I want to live with you. Next few months are spent slowly moving Riley's stuff into my apartment. Her mom helps, though we make her rest frequently. Riley sets up her collection in the living room, arranges her manga on new shelves we built together. She has specific preferences for how things should be organized, and I let her design the whole space. Are you sure you don't mind my stuff everywhere? She asks multiple times. It's our stuff now, our space. She hugs me every time I say things like that. Living together is an adjustment, but a good one. Learn her routines, her sensory sensitivities, what helps when she's overwhelmed. She learns my work schedule when I need quiet for deadlines, how I like my coffee. We fall into this comfortable rhythm of domesticity. Mornings she makes breakfast while I shower. Evenings I cook dinner while she decompresses from work. Weekends are for anime marathons, building Gundam models together, occasionally going out but mostly staying in. One Saturday we're at the mall and run into those girls from the convention again. Riley grabs my hand nervously. They see us and I can see them preparing their mean girl routine. Before they can say anything, I speak up. We're actually in a hurry. Have a great day. Steer Riley away quickly. She looks up at me. You didn't let them talk to me. They lost that privilege when they decided to be jerks. She squeezes my hand. Thank you for always protecting me. Always, promise. Year and a half into our relationship, Diane's health is deteriorating despite reducing to one job. Riley is worried constantly. I can see it in how she fidgets more, struggles to focus. One evening, I get called to come to their apartment. It's an emergency. Rush over to find Riley panicking. Her mom collapsed from exhaustion. Call an ambulance. Ride with them to the hospital. Diane is okay, just completely burned out. Doctors are stern about her needing rest. Riley is beside herself. I should have noticed. I should have helped more. Hold her while she cries in the hospital waiting room. This isn't your fault. Your mom has been pushing herself too hard. Diane is kept overnight for observation. Riley and I sit with her, Riley holding her mom's hand. I'm sorry, sweetie, Diane says weakly. I tried to keep it together. Mom, you need to stop working so much, Riley says firmly. We need the money for rent, bills, your therapy appointments. Sit forward. What if Riley stays with me permanently and you reduce your housing costs? They both look at me. I mean officially, not just practically. Move somewhere smaller, just for you. Let me take care of Riley's expenses. I can't ask you to do that, Diane protests. You're not asking, I'm offering. Riley and I are partners. We share everything. Riley is looking at me with this expression I can't quite read. You'd really do that? Support both of us in a way? You're my family now. Both of you. Diane starts crying again. This is becoming a pattern. You're a good man, she says. Better than Riley's father ever was. Riley leans into me. I don't know what I did to deserve you. You're just yourself. That's all you ever needed to do. 2 months later, Diane moves into a small one-bedroom apartment closer to her hospital job. Cut her commute in half. She only works one job now. Doctor prescribed rest. Riley is officially fully moved in with me, all her belongings integrated into our space. Apartment looks like an anime fan, and a graphic designer had a baby. It's chaotic, but it's ours. She's thriving with the stability, doing well at work, spending more time on her hobbies. Her mom is slowly recovering, has color in her face again, smiles more. One evening, Riley and I are building a new Gundam model together. She's explaining the backstory of this particular mobile suit. And then the pilot has to sacrifice himself to save everyone. It's really emotional. Look at her. This woman who gets emotional about fictional robot pilots, who lined up all her manga by height, who wears anime shirts without irony. I want to marry you, say suddenly. She drops the piece she's holding. What? Not right now, but eventually. I want to marry you, officially be your family, protect you forever. She's staring at me with wide eyes. You want to marry me, even though I'm autistic and weird and obsessed with Gundams? Take her hands. I want to marry you because you're you. The autism isn't despite or because. It's just part of the whole package that is Riley. She's crying, happy tears this time. I want to marry you too. You make me feel safe and understood and like I'm enough exactly as I am. Kiss her. tasting salt from her tears. We should probably date a little longer before getting engaged, say practically. She nods. Probably, but I'm going to think about wedding themes now. Laugh because of course she is. Anime-themed wedding? Suggest. Oh my god, yes. Can we have Gundam centerpieces? Whatever you want. 6 months later, I actually proposed properly. Take her to the convention center where we had our first date as an official couple. There's a small anime convention happening. Feels appropriate. Get down on one knee in front of a life-size Gundam statue. Riley, you're my favorite person in the entire world. Will you marry me? She's crying before I even finish the sentence. Yes, of course, yes. Slip the ring on her finger. It has a tiny mobile suit engraved inside the band. She notices immediately. You got a Gundam reference on my engagement ring. Had to stay on brand. She tackles me in a hug right there in the convention center. People around us applaud. Someone yells, "Congratulations!" Call Diane immediately to tell her. She's crying before Riley even finishes explaining. I'm so happy for you both. When can we celebrate? Plan a dinner at Diane's apartment that weekend. She cooks this elaborate meal, more food than 3 people could eat. Riley is showing her the ring, explaining the engraving, talking about wedding ideas. Diane pulls me aside while Riley is distracted looking at wedding dress ideas on her phone. Thank you, she says simply, for loving her, for staying, for being the man I hoped would exist. Hugging her, this woman who fought alone for so long. Thank you for raising someone so incredible. Wedding planning is exactly as chaotic as expected. Riley has very specific ideas about everything. Colors, themes, music. Wants to incorporate subtle anime references without it being costumey. Decides on a color scheme based on Gundam color palettes, blues and reds and whites. Centerpieces are indeed small Gundam models that she's painting herself. Invitations have cherry blossoms because anime. She's so excited about every detail, makes spreadsheets and color-coded planning documents. Her mom helps when she can. I handle the practical logistics. Wedding day arrives and I'm nervous in a good way. Standing at the altar with my best friend as best man. Doors open and Riley walks down the aisle with her mom. She looks absolutely beautiful. Dress is white with blue accents, hair styled but still very her. She's crying before she even reaches me. Diane is also crying, shocking absolutely no one. Ceremony is short and sweet. We wrote our own vows. Riley goes first, reading from a card because she wanted to make sure she said everything right. You make me feel like being myself is not just okay, but wonderful. You protect me. You listen to me. You love me exactly as I am. I promise to love you forever with my whole heart. My turn, and I'm definitely crying now. Riley, you've taught me that love is about acceptance, communication, and choosing someone every single day. You're my best friend, my partner, my home. I promise to protect you, support you, and always appreciate your Gundam collection. Everyone laughs at the last part. Efficient pronounces us married and Riley kisses me enthusiastically. Reception is at a local venue she picked because it had good acoustics and wouldn't be too overwhelming. First dance is to a song from Cowboy Bebop, instrumental version. Her mom gives a speech about how proud she is, how grateful she is that Riley found me. My best friend gives a speech about how I'm finally happy and settled down with someone who gets me. Later in the evening, Riley and I step outside for air. She's still in her wedding dress. I've lost my jacket somewhere. We're married, she says, looking at her ring. We are. How do you feel? She thinks for a moment. Safe? Loved? Like everything finally makes sense. Pull her close, hugging her tightly. I'm going to protect you for the rest of our lives, say into her hair. She hugs me back just as tightly. I know. That's why I married you. Stand there in the cool evening air, holding my wife, thinking about how lucky I am. Epilogue. 1 year later. Living in a bigger apartment now, 2 bedrooms so Riley can have a dedicated hobby room. One wall is entirely Gundam models, organized by series and timeline. Her manga collection has taken over 2 full bookshelves. I'm working from home still. She's gotten a promotion at the library. Diane visits every Sunday for dinner. Her health has improved significantly with less stress. Riley and I have fallen into this beautiful routine of domesticity. Mornings she makes coffee while I make breakfast. Evenings we watch anime together. Weekends we go to conventions or stay in building models or visit her mom. She still has hard days, times when the world is too loud or too much. I've learned to recognize the signs, know when she needs space or comfort or just silence. She's learned my stress signals too, knows when to order takeout because I'm too overwhelmed to cook. We've both grown, separately and together. Her old bullies don't matter, her absent father doesn't matter. None of the people who made her feel less than matter. What matters is this life we've built together, where she can be completely herself, quirks and special interests and all, where I can be my authentic self, supported and understood. One evening we're watching the sunset from our balcony. She's leaning against me wearing one of my hoodies and her favorite anime character pajama pants. "Do you ever regret marrying me?" she asked suddenly. Look down at her. "Never, not even for a second. Why, sometimes I worry I'm too much work, too different, too weird." Turn her to face me, hands on her shoulders. "Riley, you're not work. You're my favorite person. Being with you is the easiest thing I've ever done." She smiles, that genuine, full smile that lights up her whole face. "I love you. I love you too. Now come on, we're gonna miss the new episode." She grabs my hand and pulls me back inside to our living room full of Gundams and manga and love. My face when I matched with my cute neighbor on Tinder and ended up marrying her. That feeling when you find someone who makes you want to be better while loving you exactly as you are.